boss.
Okay. So, if I've done this right, it's recording literally right now.
Sure.
Well, hey, don't. No, don't jinx it. Okay.
Yes.
Do you see I guess what program are you using?
I have to use voice meter banana, but yeah, it's recording.
Okay.
I'm hoping it's picking up my audio too, but I did test this and it did work yesterday, so took me about.
It's the same. The third largest city on Titan is literally New Quebec.
Yeah. It also has its own tongue, so just a bunch of French people. Okay, we're gonna start. So we're playing, because I'm gonna put this up on YouTube, and I do actually have people that sometimes listen to this that aren't me. We're playing Eclipse Phase, the playtest for 2nd edition, and I guess it's a playtest, so it's really rough. So I know I shut down my comments, but some people do message me and get really mad when I don't do rules right. So don't be those people, please. Okay, so let's have people introduce their characters. Heave, who are you playing?
Oh yes, I am playing the European Squid Morph, Dagfinn Yamaguchi.
Sorry, can you type your name out for me in the chat?
Yeah, no, sure.
Dagfinn Yamaguchi?
Yes.
Alright, cool. Didn't you play a squid character last time we did a Firewall game?
But that's because this game does not have the dolphin morph I wanted.
Wah.
I think I misspelled the Japanese part of this, but whatever.
Dagfinn Yamaguchi, okay.
Je m'appelle Dagfinn Yamaguchi.
Oh boy, this is gonna fucking suck. Okay.
I apologize for nothing.
It's gonna be great. Okay, so, Yavuz, who are you playing? I mean, I see the name, but you have to say it.
So, I am again playing Brightwing, but this time, unlike last time, Brightwing is not a robot crow. He's originally a Raven uplift, and he's from Titan.
Okay.
And he wants to be a noir detective. Really, really wants to. He watches all the movies. He reads all the books. He's really, really into it. And he has, a detective agency, on Titan.
Okay.
He's not terribly good at it yet. He's not really the best, but he's trying. Bless his heart.
Just to be clear, you're still playing a uplifted avian, correct?
Yes.
Is he still in async, or did you?
No.
Okay, great.
Oh yeah, sorry. But back in to be clear, also my guy is an uplift.
Yeah. Oh boy, 2 uplifts on a team. That's exceedingly rare. Okay, Frank, who are you playing?
I'm Jack Caiman, frontier biologist.
Jesus, can you please post your name in the chat?
Jack Caiman.
Jack Caiman, thanks.
Thanks, great, perfect, great name. Really good, not gonna be really embarrassing to say.
Jack Caiman.
Anyways, yeah, what's your character's deal? Jack Caiman? Fucking hate it so much. Hey, I suggested a really good name, and you were like, nah.
Yeah, Bubsy Bobcat. PhD.
Would you rather I be Mike Caiman? Because that was my other choice.
No, we're good.
That
we're
sounds
good.
even worse.
We're good. You know what? We're actually pretty good. And what's your character's deal?
He is he's a frontier biologist. He goes out and he likes camping and he likes animals and he likes studying animals and he's very forceful.
Where's he from?
Oh, he's from Titan.
Okay, so pretty much everyone so far has been from Titan.
Apparently.
Jesus.
Hi.
Oh yeah, but you're in sort of the Titan neighborhood. You're one point over. Yeah. You're a planet or two over. Titan's around Saturn? Is Europa around Saturn? I don't know.
Europa is
Jupiter.
Yeah. So you're in the neighborhood. So everyone's outer system so far. So Dijon, who are you playing?
Oh shit, I was hoping I'd have more time.
Wow.
Just need the name and like the sort of idea about what's their deal.
Oh, okay.
Gangster. I said gangster. Whatever.
Okay, my character's name is Billy.
Oh boy.
Gospel.
Can you post it in the chat?
Billy No Mates.
Is it Billy
I've just been informed that my character's last name should actually be pronounced Caiman.
Great.
So apparently that dodges a bullet for all of you. But
Billy the Gex Gospel? Fuck you.
God.
Okay, where's Billy from?
Oh, so you actually did it.
Where's Billy from? What planet?
Titan.
He's also from Titan?
Yeah, I didn't realize everyone else was also taking
No,
Titan.
this is actually perfect.
My son is also named.
This is actually somehow extremely perfect.
My son
completely-
What's your deal?
Yeah, what's your character's deal?
My
What
character
do you-
is an activist terrorist who basically he likes to break into like medical research facilities and steal like new, not even on the market drugs and medical machines and distribute them to the people.
Okay.
So,
You're anti-corporate.
Yeah, it sounds like he's anti-hypercorp. Okay, well, you probably aren't doing that on Titan because Titan is
Very non-hypercorp.
Yeah, Titan's extremely socialist. But that actually is fine. That's fine. There's places you can do that where people are.
Also, I don't know if I explicitly said, but you would be what you call, my character would be what he calls, un fixateur.
Oh boy, a fixer? Is that what you just
Yes.
said? Great.
my
Okay.
character is also a socialist, so he spends most of his time living on remote asteroids.
Remote asteroids where he breaks. Okay, nope, we're not. Okay, so it sounds like probably everyone is going to be having the same language of Skandinavska, right?
Nope.
Because, well, you need to share a language.
Our primary language.
Yeah, well, everyone is probably going to speak Skandinavska just because that's probably what's simpler. Oh boy.
Fine, putting in secondary language.
That's fine. You know two languages. You know your native language and a free one. And then,
Scandi.
yeah.
Character
And then-
is Suitman Doctor, very slippery.
Okay. And I forgot to ask, but what morph is your character in, Yavuz?
Ghost morph.
A ghost morph. So he is not in a bird body. Got it.
Right.
And Frank, what
Not in.
what body does your character have currently?
right now he's in a Nova crab.
Jesus Christ. You suck. The one thing you kept. Okay, cool. And what kind of body does Billy have?
By the way, I have a question. Do
Yeah.
morphs have like defined shapes?
It depends. Can you tell me what you're thinking of?
His morph is a ghost.
Yeah, it's
Like his-
humanoid then. It's humanoid. It's roughly humanoid.
Yeah, the ghost is a stealth boy.
Yeah, Ghost is a stealth boy.
Okay.
So, I mean, presumably you could get extra arms and shit added, but
Yeah, basically the stock morphs for humanoid types, you're not really going to be able to tell them apart unless you specifically have skills relating to morphs.
yeah.
Or I guess medicine in second edition.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we're ready to start. So, I wrote this before I realized literally everyone's from the outer system, but you are all part of Firewall, which is a giant conspiracy dedicated to stopping transhumans from killing themselves with existential threats. They don't own any allegiance to any particular polity, and they are extremely decentralized. But as a result, they are made up from everyone in like every sort of walk of life. You are all on Mars. You have not been in a team together at all. Usually what happens is Firewall will scramble a team when they need one, and they just use whoever's in the area. So, Dagfinn, what are you doing on Mars? What is your character doing on?
I think it's fair to say shady dealings.
All right. On your own time, or doing it for like a boss or something?
Doing it for my boss of La Famille Nakamura.
All right. Okay, cool. So, Mars does have a strong Yakuza Tong presence, so you probably are trying to strike a deal with them, or maybe with the Night Cartel. That's up to you to decide. Brightwing, what brings you to Mars?
Sorry, can I elaborate a sec?
Yeah, sure.
Gave me the impression less striking up deals between families and more he has a tip, or the family has a tip about some morphs that fell off a truck.
All right.
Space future truck.
All right. Brightwing, what is
I am on Mars because I on business, basically.
On business, okay.
Like detective business. There's do I have to have a full story? Or...
No, it's fine. I just need to.
I've taken a case and.
So here's a question I probably should have asked. Do you have like the resources trait, like to represent you owning? Okay, so
yeah.
How big is what's your resource level? Just so I have an idea of how big you're.
Level 1.
Okay, so it's probably just you and maybe like a guy on the mesh that you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. So you're on a case currently, right? Just so I'm clear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. God damn it. Jack Caiman, what are you doing?
I'm probably visiting the local colleges and places of study and learning to convince them to fund my next expedition.
Okay. You also I know that like you, Frank, the player, doesn't know about this, but your character probably would. There's certain areas of Mars that have something called wild artificials, which are just robots that have gone native. So I don't know if that interests your character as like an animal person, but they are like probably the closest thing Mars has to wildlife.
Yeah, it's a little interesting. I mean, it's not like, wow, but I'm going to say that's probably what I do to alleviate my boredom.
Yeah, they were, if I remember correctly, they were like terraforming machines that got corrupted by Titans, and they have sort of just gone native. And they actually do like evolve to adapt to situations, so maybe your character's a little bit more interested in that than before. And then Billy. Billy, what are you doing on Mars?
Billy is trying to either find a score or some kind of hookup because he hasn't really been able to make any infiltrations lately, which is bad because did I mention that the other reason he breaks into medical facilities is to fuel his drug habit?
What level of addiction do you got there, bud?
Just level 1.
Alright, so like once a month I think is how many times you have to fulfill it. Okay. you are actually in good company because Mars is ruled by the Planetary Consortium, which is made up of hypercorps. And they have this nifty little thing that has become quite popular in the inner system called GRM, which is the genetic version of DRM, which they put in a morph, and then you have to keep going back to get the drugs that will keep you alive because you have cancer literally just sort of developed in your body. So there's a lot of people who are like looking for your sort of aid. So yeah. Okay, so you are all going about your business when Firewall contacts you through several anonymous accounts. And you know it's Firewall because the message you get is the subject line is, what do you do when the exterminator's gone? And then the message inside just says, burn the house down, which is Firewall code for, we are scrambling you for a team. So you are just given a list of mesh IDs and names and pictures of the other agents you'll be hooking up with. So you all roughly know what each other looks like. You know your mesh IDs and you know their handles. So here's a good time for me to step in and do this again. Billy, what's your Firewall handle? What does Firewall identify you as?
The Gex.
The Gex, goddamn.
Just Gex.
Just Gex, okay. So Billy is Gex. Dagfinn, what is your Firewall handle?
Oh, so I knew I was supposed to know where starting out from Firewall, so let's just say Ink Boy.
Ink Boy. What a great handle. Ink Boy, got it. Brightwing.
Not very late when they're handing out handles.
Yeah, well, they let you pick your own handle, so. Yeah. Brightwing, what is your handle?
So it is, I'm not sure that I'm going to pronounce this right, so I'm putting it in chat.
Okay.
But it is Carl Bystrom.
Carl Bystrom. Okay.
It's supposed to be sort of like generic like, girl with a dragon tattoo type,
okay.
Detective novel character.
Okay, cool. So, you're the only one that's apparently thought seriously about this, which makes sense, because Brightwing is a wannabe detective. Jack, what is your Firewall handle?
Gariel.
One more time?
Gariel. Like the thing that is a lot like a Caiman, which is a thing that's a lot like an alligator.
I hate you so Okay, Gariel. Great. Fucking hate you.
I guess I can...
Yeah, can you type that out just so I don't forget? Gariel. Okay, Gariel. Great. So, and the only other name that is referenced in like the sort of document you get is the name of your proxy who goes by Gambit. Yeah. So, you are also given a time and a place to meet. The place is a small cafe in Olympus City, which is like one of the big Martian cities. And you're just given a time. So for expediency's sake, I'm just going to say you all get there at roughly the correct time. And you recognize your proxy who is sitting sort of in a corner smoking cigarettes. He's chain smoking them and kind of nervously glancing around. And in the future where your bodies are like sort of like objects and it's kind of hard to get a new body sometimes, smoking is like the height of decadence because it's literally just ruining your return of investment. So he sees you guys come in and he stubs out his cigarette, and he kind of meets you at the door. He says, hi, are you're here for the, for the meeting, correct? Which is the call sign that you all know that, yeah, you're supposed to be here for the meeting. He seems really nervous.
That's a shitty call sign.
Yeah, no. Does anyone have any IREP?
That's a good question. I don't remember.
I do not think so. Mine's all...
No.
Again, no, I didn't know if the Firewall immediately.
That's fine. No, it makes sense. We probably haven't done a lot of jobs for Firewall.
I thought you said we'd get some for free, but maybe I misremembered.
No, you'll probably get some during a mission. But yeah, so you don't know much about this proxy. If you have research, you might be able to make a research check to see if you know anything about him.
I'll go for a research check.
Also me.
Okay.
How do we do the roll in this thing again?
It's
What's the command?
! Roll 1d100. Like that.
Okay. That does it.
That does it? Okay.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. Alright, so, let's start with, Brightwing. You just got a normal success, so you basically get that, this guy's real name, you basically, look on the mesh about him. His real name's Remy Jackson. He's a small-time, gun mover for the Barsoomians. The Barsoomians are the, independence movement on Mars. They hate hypercapitalism, and they are very pro-anarchist. But he's just a small-time gun mover for them. So, Jack, you got 74, which by these new rules gives you 2 spectacular successes. So you learn...
Wow.
Yeah. So you learn everything that Brightwing learned, but you also get into the Firewall database that you have access to. And Gambit here, Proxy Gambit, is a sort of new proxy. This is probably his first major mission, as far as you can tell. He's mostly been a facilitator for Firewall teams on Mars that need guns and cover. So this is his first big deal mission with a team. So that's why he seems very nervous, and his call signs aren't the best ones, because he gets to make them up, because he's the proxy lead on this. So they fucking suck, and he's real bad at this. So he fumbles around in his pocket, and he pulls out more cigarettes, and he offers y'all a pack. He offers you the pack. And I don't know if anyone's going to take him up on that offer, but
Yep.
if you do, all right. So he puts one. Yeah. In French, in actual Old Earth French, so you have a little bit trouble understanding it. He also says thank you, and he briefly talks to you in French, and then when he sees that you're having difficulties, he switches back to Scandinavska. You can tell that his version is a skill implant, so it's very stiff and formal.
Your accent is horrible.
Okay, great. Well, he speaks French natively. He's just bad at Scandinavska.
I'm ripping on his speaking
great.
proper French.
He looks at you and he says, okay, well, listen, Firewall, okay, this is my first, real deal mission, so, let's just try to make this quick. Your muses all get, a little email from him, and he's like, we're gonna take this virtual if you don't mind, just, too many people here, but I thought, a public place would be a good meeting point, just so you guys don't get worried, because I see you're all relatively new to the organization. So if you just take a seat, we'll go in virtual. So he's offered you a mesh link to a simul space, which is virtual reality inside the mesh. So I assume you're all gonna sit down and access the simul space, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Waiting for someone to go, no, fuck that, I flipped the table and so.
And then I pull out my gun.
I pull out my gun. Jesus Christ. Okay, so it's a very formal conference room. It's the simul space is a very formal conference room. There's a slide projector. Proxy Gambit is standing off to the side with one of those clickers to click through the slides, and he says, okay, here's what we know. And he pulls up a picture of a guy sleeved in a Menton morph. And he says, this fellow here is a Firewall contact named Marzuq Abdul Wadud al-Bahth, and I'm going to post that in here for you guys to see. He doesn't know about Firewall. We just contract him out sometimes for extra work. He's a data archaeologist. He basically gets data, lost data from the Titan quarantine zone on Mars, which you all know what the Titan quarantine zone is. It's a big zone that was bombed to shit by the Titans back during the fall, and it's full of terrible, nasty things, and insane people called zone stalkers go in to try and get shit, and then they usually die. So Marzuq here, like about 2 weeks ago, contacted me through an anonymous mesh service to tell me that in like a week or so after he was done decrypting something, he'd have something really big that he thought we'd want to buy from him. As far as he knows, we're just some minor hypercorp that buys and sells data. And he said that he'd give us the first bid on it. That was 2 weeks ago, and then he clicks the next slide, and it is a blog post about the death of noted data archaeologist Marzuq Abdul blah blah blah. And he says, so a week after I got that message, Marzuq here, apparently the Olympian police are saying that he was killed in a gang robbery gone bad. And normally that wouldn't be an issue, but his stack was destroyed. And you know that if a cortical stack gets destroyed, that's real deal death. Luckily for him, he had a backup, but the backup's a month old. So, like I said, the Olympian police think it's a gang robbery gone bad. And then they just killed him so they couldn't be identified in a court of law. But some of the higher ups in Firewall think there's something fishy going on. So they've ordered me to scramble a team. You're what's available. And honestly, all you have to do is investigate, like, Marzuq's death. If it was a gang-related thing, then we can close the case pretty easily. If it wasn't, then you need to find out who killed him and why, and if possible, you need to recover the data that he had for Firewall. Any questions? Did everyone get that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So even in virtual, Remy's still smoking a cigarette, and he says, honestly, I don't think that this is a big thing to be concerned about. Olympus City is pretty fucking, like, crooked, and it's extremely possible that, you know, someone came after it. This is 100% what the cops say. I don't think you're going to find much, but, you know, I'd appreciate it if you could keep me appraised of the situation. Any information you get, I'd like to be the first to know, and I'll send it up the chain. If there's no other questions, though, you should probably get started. I can give you Marzuq's address, and you can go see him. He's been restored from backup. I don't think he'll know much. The backup they restored him from is a month old. You can also see if you can infiltrate the Olympian Police Department somehow. I can give you their address if you want to physically go there. And I can give you the names of the officers that were investigating Marzuq's death. And that's about all I know. Anything else you need from me?
Nope.
Can't
All
think
right.
of anything.
All right. This is just a standard warning. I see you're all off-worlders from the outer system. A lot of Titanians here. I'm going to warn you that things don't work like they do in the outer system. Not a lot of anarchists out here except for the Barsoomians. You probably want to keep any weapons you have holstered, and any of that fucking autonomous sympathizer bullshit you guys have on Titan and beyond, you probably want to stow that. Because the cops will take notice and they will tail you to see what's up. All right. That's all I got. So he disconnects from the symbol space, and unless you guys want to talk privately, you can also disconnect. Okay.
Were any of you guys listening? I kind of zoned out.
Jesus Christ. God, I hate you. Your muse, what is your muse's name, Jack?
My muse's name, it's literally just me. It's not a fork. It's just a muse I made look and act kind of like.
It's okay, so literally just you says, yeah, I was taking notes, boss. I got most of them, for you. I can I'll just forward them to myself, I guess, but I'll remind you what we need to do.
Attaboy, Jack.
So weird. So fucking weird. Okay, so you all disconnect from the symbol space. You all get an email from, a mesh mail from your proxy, and it's basically the address of Marzuq's to where he lives, and directions on how to get to the Olympian Police Department district that was dealing with Marzuq's death, and the names of the officers involved with investigating his death. And he says, all right, well, get to it, I guess. I'm sorry, I'm not very good at this, boss thing. But, yeah, go. So, you go. So, I guess at this point, where do you guys want to head?
I want to go to the place where he was killed.
Okay. That's his house, and you know that he's been restored from backup, so...
That's true, he's there. I guess I could talk to him, too.
Yeah, he doesn't remember any of it, though. The backup's about a month old.
Okay.
So, but he might remember, something, or you could probably talk to him to, get in and check out the,
Or there might be something, there might be a clue around there, in his apartment.
Yeah. Whew. So, yeah.
I still want to go there, I guess.
Okay. Does everyone want to go there?
Yeah.
So, do we know... Were we told anything about how he was killed?
Yeah, you do have the police reports. They were made public. So, they said they think it's a gang robbery gone bad. The apartment was messed up, according to the police reports. He was killed by a blunt object to the head, and then they believe that someone crushed his stack by accident. That's not unheard of. Stacks are incredibly hardy, but someone with augmented strength and stuff and real determination could probably crack a stack and fuck it up. So that means he was hit at the base of the back of his neck.
Don't suppose in the police reports would be pictures of the tossed up house?
Yeah, there are.
Okay, well, I, or Dagfinn, would like to roll his SecOps skill to see if from the pictures this is, if they're actually looking for something.
Okay.
Or if it was tossed to cover it.
Yeah, go ahead and roll that.
Motive, yeah.
For sure. Okay, that's one superior success, right?
Well, under 70.
Okay. Excuse me. Yeah, you can tell right away. You've done jobs like this before, where you toss the apartment to make it look like you were trying to get something. So yeah, it was definitely they were looking for something and they tossed the apartment to make it look like just sort of a robbery gone wrong. You notice that the area sort of his workbench where he does all his work and decrypting and stuff is the most serious area tossed, which suggests to you that that's where they were looking and they were working extra hard to cover up what they were looking for. So you're pretty sure the motive of whoever did this was they were looking for something.
Actually, is the guy's old body still somewhere?
Yeah, it would be in the morgue, and you do definitely not have permission to access that, so you'd probably have to figure something out.
Do we have an autopsy report, though?
Yeah, but
Well,
you might also want to look at the body yourself. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, it just tells you what was in the report. The blow to the back of the neck, blow to the head killed him.
Well, this was not a robbery. Not in the ways they want us to think.
I mean, yeah, you're right. Okay. So,
saying things out loud so other characters know, or out loud on TAC.
Yeah, you guys do all have TACnet. That is a thing that everyone in Firewall has. So, I feel like I'm going to be silly for asking this, but does anyone have the car service thing?
I do.
Okay, cool. So you actually are able to get a car pretty quickly. So you're heading to his apartment?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So he is in downtown Olympus, away from the space elevator. Olympus sort of grew up around the space elevator that connects Mars to, space. So he's well away from it, but you can still see the space elevator pretty well. I believe it connects to one of the moons, but I don't know off the top of my head what moon it connects to.
That's going to come in really important when I blow it up later.
The Deimos of Phobos.
So the car pulls up, the space Uber, I think is what it's literally supposed to be, pulls up and they let you out. And and you go up to Marzuq's apartment, and then who's knocking on the door?
Probably me, unless anybody else has a really convincing cover story they want to try. Or something.
Go ahead.
Well.
Alright.
Okay. So, you take one of your crab claws, because you're in a Nova crab morph. Great. And you knock on his door. And after a bit, he comes and opens it, and he sees the group of you, and he says, can I help you?
Hi, Marzuq, right?
Yeah, and you are...
Oh, we were sent from the... Actually, wait, hold on. I need the name of, an academic institute from Titan I could conceivably be from.
The, the Colonial University. Here, I will... Martian Colonial University. There we go. I knew I forgot something. I don't know if that's a real one, but that isn't now a real one in this game. So yeah, Martian Colonial University.
Yep, that works. We're from the Martian Colonial University. You told us you had some stuff for us a couple weeks ago, and we came by to pick it up.
Okay. Give me a deceive roll, I think is what it's called now, right? Deceive? Yes. Yeah, give me a deceive. And he's just going to oppose it with his kinesics.
I should probably just copy paste this.
Yeah, probably. Well, that's a critical failure on his part, so he goes, okay, that is extremely possible I might have done that, but, I was recently killed. I'm about a month out of sync with everything.
Ah, tough break, buddy.
Yeah, well, listen, do you want to come in?
Yes.
Alright, so he opens the door a little bit, and he lets you all in. And as you're walking to his very small living room, he goes, listen, I mean, I can let you poke around some of my stuff. I'm still sort of going through everything that, past me, future me. It's so confusing how to talk about oneself when you died and you don't remember it. But I can let you poke through some of it. Most of it's been pretty wrecked, by whatever gang did this. But, I mean, you can take a look if you want. And he kind of points vaguely to his, workbench.
Yeah, sure. We'll, have a look and see if we can't figure out exactly what it was. The higher-ups, of course, didn't tell us. They never tell us anything, naturally.
Yeah, I mean, I don't usually... you're with the Martian Colonial University, you said?
Yes.
I've never had contacts with you. That's weird. Must have been some early settlement stuff I found. Huh. So, who's gonna look through the, data that's on his workbench?
Probably not me.
Anyone?
Hang on, are we looking for stuff? Because I think I'm really good at that.
Yeah, you are.
Digital stuff, right?
Yeah, you're trying to you're trying to figure out what maybe he was looking at.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sort of keep the guy a little bit, like, not full on trying to distract him out of the room or anything, but just sort of keep up the small chatter with him while someone else does the looking.
Okay.
Alright, so am I going to need infosec or infiltrate, or interface for this?
Interfacing for now.
Okay. Actually, it doesn't really matter, because that's the same thing. Let me roll that.
Wow.
Oh,
okay.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's a critical success. The best critical possible.
So how does... Do you mind if I ask how the success, critical and great success rules work now?
Yeah, so the critical stuff still works the exact same. Roll doubles, and you critically fail or succeed depending on if it's over or under your skill. Superior success, if you get over, I think it's 30, you get 1 superior success. And then if you get over 60, it's 2. And vice versa with like critically or superior failure. Like if it's 30 over and you fail, then it's 1 superior failure and all that jazz.
Okay, so if I have like 20 and something and I roll a 31, then I get
you get a superior failure, which is a worse failure than normal.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Okay, so,
Wait, does that mean if I've got like an 80 and something, I can only superior fail?
That's a great question. I don't know, I'll have to look at the rules.
That seems a little weird.
Probably not. I'm sort of saying probably not. I don't think that sounds right, but okay, so anyways, Brightwing, 100, yes, well, double zeros technically. Yeah, so you're poking through this stuff and you're sort of interfacing with all of it, and you notice a theme. So like the stuff he's been working on currently is sort of like off to one side, so you almost immediately discard that as, like, I don't need to know that. And then you decide to, like, you start basically backtracking. And there's a chunk, for, like, I'm trying to think of how many days it would be. Like 2 weeks is just completely gone. Like, the stuff that he was studying or whatever for 2 weeks is completely gone, or like very trashed. There's like no way to recover it. Whoever did this like knew what they were doing. And then like stuff that comes after that or before that is pretty much fine. It's like messed up and corrupted, but like it's fixable basically. So you've identified like a solid 2 week period that they specifically targeted as far as you can tell. Which means like where to start and where to end if you were like gonna backtrace Marzuq's like schedule or whatever. So you've solidly identified the 2 weeks where like whatever he was working on was what got him killed. And you also get with a 100, I'll say you also get a couple snippets. And you can tell that whatever he was working on was related to the Martian, or to the Titan quarantine zone, the TQZ. So he doesn't data decryption for a lot of people, but this was definitely like about the TQZ. It was definitely stalker stuff. So
all right.
So yeah. So I assume you share with everyone over the TACnet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So, Jack, you see that Brightwing is wrapping up, And Marzuq looks over your shoulder.
I mean, I'm shorter than him.
So he just looks over your. He looks over your.
My knee.
Yeah, and he says, and he can kind of see that your friend over there, Brightwing, has maybe gotten something, and he. Excuse me, got the hiccups. And he says, looks like your friend got something. Do you mind sharing? So he wants to know what Brightwing found out. So that you guys.
Do I have to tell him? Because I'm not very good at lying.
Well, that's why he's talking to Frank's character.
Oh, he's talking to me. Fair enough.
Yeah.
In that case,
yeah.
In that case, I'm going to try and run a persuade check on him
and
say that. Let's see. Well, it doesn't really look like much to me. I think it's just sort of your normal research. Doesn't seem like anything to me that would be what we were looking for. Not that I know what we were looking for exactly.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and give me a persuade check. And he'll try to kinesics you. Okay, that's a critical. Okay, yeah, you got a critical. He succeeded, but your critical's better. So he says, he kind of shrugs and he says, I mean, I guess you're right. I mean, I wouldn't even know what I'm looking for. You can't imagine how frustrating that is.
Yeah, I can imagine. Unfortunately, when you contacted us before, you weren't specific. You said you wanted to share it in person, so we don't know why.
That sounds like me. Data lines are not always secure, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, okay, fair enough. I'm sorry.
Well, if it was really important, they wouldn't have sent us out here, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. And I pat him on the shoulder.
Okay.
Good luck, man.
Alright, well, I'm sorry, he kind of shrugs. I'm sorry you didn't get anything. Hey, if you ever figure out what it was I was trying to send you, let me know. And then also pay me. And he kind of laughs. Yeah, it's probably not going to happen, but guy can dream. So he escorts you all out. So yeah, you have a solid 2-week frame, and you know that whatever he was working on came from the TQZ, which means that you could probably look up fences for that stuff if you felt so inclined. And Olympus City also boasts some very good surveillance shit, like what's that called? Fucking, they have it in Britain. Closed circuit television sets and stuff, except more future.
CCTV.
Yeah, so more futury. So you could also, if you were feeling pretty ballsy, try and hack that. So yeah, what would you guys like to do now?
Sorry to derail, but I just found out that Caiman Jack is the name of a bottled margarita, so... Nice.
I fucking hate your character so much. Anyways, what would you guys like to do? So you still haven't really talked to the officers. You only know what the police report said, which is very formal stuff. You could try and get a look at the body. I know some people have medical skills that they might want to flex on the body themselves.
Yeah, that was my thought, but I don't even think I'm the best person to do that in this group, so... I wouldn't be the one sneaking in.
Probably a starting point for medical is just looking at the autopsy report and using medicine as a knowledge.
Yeah. Does anyone have a medicine skill?
A medicine veterinary?
Okay, well, nope, for sure no.
And then I have no biology, which is probably not going to do much.
Yeah, probably not going to do much. What about Billy? Because I know he was the medical cowboy. Uh-oh, Dijon. Uh-oh. Is Dijon dead?
Huh?
Hey, Dijon, does your character have any medicine skills?
Yeah, he does. What do we need?
They were talking about looking at the autopsy report using a medical skill.
Oh yeah, that would probably be forensics.
Oh yeah, if you actually have forensics.
Wow,
Yeah.
Someone has a useful character.
Okay, yeah. Do you want to look at the medical report that was attached with the police report?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and give me a roll with your forensics and shit. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
So the report says that first he was killed by, blunt force trauma to the head and like face area, and then his stack was smashed by the same blunt force trauma. Someone hit him again, basically, but that was after he was killed, as far as they could tell. And you immediately notice that actually the way things like the bruising pattern and stuff suggest that he was hit in the stack first, and then he was smashed in the head. So someone at the medical office is either really bad at their job or they're trying to cover up that this was a hit. Okay, that's what you get with a 13. So it's increasingly looking more and more like this was a hit for something.
Hey, should we tell the guy?
Marzuq?
The guy who said, hey, no, not Marzuq, the Gambit. He said keep him informed.
Yeah.
And I know it is not standard for parties to listen to that kind of request, but...
Yeah, you can tell Gambit if you want. You can, contact him over the mesh if you want.
Yeah, I feel like just send him a quick heads up, like, hey, this is looking relatively like a cover-up now, so...
Okay, you get a message, 5 minutes later, okay, thanks for the heads up. I'll send it up the chain. You're doing a great job, and then there's a smiley face and a thumbs up emoji.
Aww. Jeez.
So yeah. He also asks you, where are you headed next? Just so he can, apparently he wants to keep appraised of, what you're doing. So I assume you tell him you talked to Marzuq?
Yeah.
Okay. So then he wants to know where you're headed next.
Good question. It sounds like we're moving towards heading to the body. But I don't want to make that call because I'm not the one who has to sneak in and investigate the body.
I'm pretty good at both of those things.
That's good.
Okay. So
I'm good at being distracting.
Crabs certainly aren't.
Okay.
So
plan A.
I guess I could
wave his claws around.
So you're headed towards the body, just real quick. You're going towards the body to sneak in, or try and get a look at it. I'm just trying to know what you're telling him.
Unless someone has a better suggestion right now.
Well,
I like that suggestion.
Yeah, I'm fine.
none of those are good ideas, but
Okay, so you message him back and let him know you're gonna try and sneak a peek at the body. Got it. Thank you.
Body peeping.
Okay, and he just sends you a message back that says thank you. He seems to be very appreciative that you're keeping him informed. So yeah, you're headed towards the body.
We'll have to scope some bods.
That sounds so gross when you say it like that, though.
Hoofa doofa.
Nothing gross about appreciating some nice good bods.
Well, I hate everything you're saying.
No thanks.
Do you want to keep saying those terrible words that you're saying?
No, I think I pretty much covered
We're
it.
being recorded, and
Yeah, you are being recorded.
You know what I've been recorded saying in the past, right?
Yes, god damn it.
Not a deterrent.
Okay, so you are headed towards the morgue. So the morgue is outsourced, like most things on Mars. The code word on Mars is privatize literally everything to make as much money as you can. Fuck you, got mine. So it has been outsourced to a resleeving facility, and their primary thing is resleeving, just to be super clear. And it is called, great, the one name I don't have written down. It is called, MechSec Resleeving Facilities, and I'm just gonna... Yeah, it's MechSec Resleeving. And it's a very small hypercorp. It's a subsidiary of a bunch of other hypercorp. But, their primary deal is resleeving, so you can all pretty much bet that they have not actually done, most of the autopsy things. So,
never.
There's a receptionist out front of this very nice, sort of receiving room. And so what do you do?
Okay, so before we start trying to infiltrate, let's scope the place out.
Yeah, we should probably figure out where the body is.
It would probably be in the back. You do know that much from just how sort of resleeving facilities are all set up. So it's probably in the back.
I want to scope the place out in terms of security.
Okay. What would you like to use to do that?
SecOps.
Perfect.
T100.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's not a lot of security out front, which is not that surprising because most of the money is in the back in terms of gear and stuff. So the resleeving stuff's in the back and so are the bodies. Unless this is, as far as you can tell, with a superior success, you're pretty sure it's not a triad resleeving facility. It's probably legitimately just a resleeving facility that's owned by someone. So that means it's probably got pretty standard stuff in the back, which is just chem sniffers to see if anyone that's coming back has bombs, which that's just a holdover from when resleeving was not well received by sort of religious fundamentalists. And then besides that, not much. The receptionist probably has a gun, maybe, but more likely she'd have a button she would push that would get one of the major military corporations on the line, Fajing or Direct Action.
Yeah, it's slow response time.
Yeah, the response time's probably not going to be that good.
So do we have an idea of what sort of security they'd have in the good part?
Yeah, in the good part, it would probably just be a chem sniffer and you need an ID badge. So not great. Trying to, rob a resleeving facility is kind of hard just because all the value is in very big equipment or bodies. So most people don't go in for that. So it's pretty lightly.
Yeah, so I just need a key card in terms of getting past security.
And obviously there's going to be cameras, but this is the transhuman future, so cameras are sort of always present.
Yeah.
So
can I use my marketing skill to see if they've ever marketed themselves as a place that would do autopsies or be a morgue at all?
Yeah, sure.
That, I think, is a success. I believe I have a 40. Yes. No, I have a 60. So yes.
Okay, so, no, they really haven't. If they have, it's more of a recent thing. With a superior success, you also realize, no, it's not a recent thing. Them getting autopsy stuff is really peculiar. Most autopsy stuff goes to, Biosleeve and more, which is a hypercorp that does resleeving, but also does side contract work as autopsy coroner stuff for Olympus. So it's really weird that the body got sent here.
Huh.
Anything else?
Can't think of anything.
Okay. So yeah, there's just a reception up front. She's probably got a button for like if she feels threatened.
So,
yeah,
I don't know what. I guess it's up to Dijon how we get in because I don't know how Dijon is sneaky.
Yeah. So
well, basically, I have chameleon skin, grip pads. I can basically just.
Oh my god, you
as long as I'm
fucking
moving slow enough.
Gax, I hate it.
wow, sorry, Dijon, can you get directly in the trash?
I can't believe no one picked up on that.
I mean, I knew that you were Gex, but I didn't realize you were Gax.
Hey, Dijon,
Actually,
can you,
Gex.
maybe just
you
go...
are not punning enough to be Gex.
Yeah, okay,
Do you remember when I asked you, Julia, if there was a way that I could grab things from, like, far away?
I fucking hate you so much. Hey,
Also, not once this session have you said, no tail now, on a tongue later.
Alright, okay, please, we are getting distracted by Gex. I hate it so much. Okay.
So TP, anyway.
So.
The only actual play recording on the internet devoted entirely to Gex.
I fucking hate you guys. I fucking hate you so fucking much. Alright, so how do you want to get in, Dijon? What is your ideal way of sneaking in? What is Billy's ideal? So fucking mad.
I guess ideal would probably be... Okay, we're probably going to need some kind of security card or some kind of hacking capability, which means probably getting inside in the first place, which means probably going into the front.
Is infiltration still... be covering into sleight of hand stuff like
I think so.
pickpocketing.
You know what? Let me take a real quick look at skills, but I'm going to say yeah for the purposes of this because sleight of hand is gone or whatever it is, right? Conceal or whatever. Yeah, so probably got lumped into infiltration.
Because to get that key card. Ink Boy here can just slide right in a vent and just take a card right off a guy.
Mm-hmm. You could definitely try that.
Or to be boring, slide into the employee locker room, steal cards, uniforms.
Yeah, it might also help if you have someone... I'm trying to get like everyone involved, so like someone to distract, like have a face... someone to get the key card, pass it off to Billy, and then someone to hack the like cameras and stuff so that there's not a trace of you guys left.
I can hack the cameras.
Yeah,
I was going to assume that I was going to go in and talk to people, regardless of whether it helps. Just
Jack is a very weird man.
I don't think we really need to talk to someone in this top secret military base. I'm going to talk to them anyway.
It's not a top. Never mind.
No, okay. They're right for the chat.
Yeah.
All right. So,
it's just a hypothetical situation.
Can I maybe say that is the plan at this point?
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay. So, I guess let's start with Jack going in. So, Jack, you scuttle in.
So my goal is just to keep the receptionist busy.
Yeah, you want to keep her busy. Well, Dagfinn probably steals a key card and then passes it off to Billy, and Billy and him head in or whatever. So yeah, what you walk in, the receptionist looks up at you and she waves and she says hello.
Hi, I'm potentially looking for a re-sleeve at some point in the near future, as you can see. And I'm just going to do you all a favor here. At this point, I go on a long talk about how I'm in a crab body because of my last expedition, was to like this planet that had low atmosphere at the top, but then it went underwater and it was very high atmosphere. And I start talking about the animals I saw.
And I wore an onion on my belt, as was the style at the time.
And
This sucks.
I just wrap it around to the time when I got in a fight with like a fork of myself.
Okay.
Like, really,
Okay.
It can be 5 bees for a quarter, we'd say.
Okay, so go ahead and give me, I guess, persuade.
I would guess, like, there's no skill for being annoying. So
yeah, I mean, what are you trying to? Well, I guess let's get right to it. What are you? You're just trying to distract her, right?
Yeah, distract her and keep us, like, I don't want her to go anywhere else either, so I want it to last.
Okay, I guess, are you lying about, like, your last adventure? Or is that really what happened? Okay, so then just persuade. You're just kind of being nice about it.
Well, that certainly succeeds.
Okay. Well, actually, I'm not going to have her roll kinesics because she's in customer service and a receptionist, so she has to listen to you. Until you, like, give her a good excuse to stop. So her eyes kind of glaze over with that look of someone accessing the mesh while they, try and pretend to listen. And she's just going, oh, amazing. Wow. So, yeah, Jesus Christ. Okay, so at that point, let's go to, Brightwing to set up the hacking. So, you just need an infosec check, I believe.
Right.
I think they changed up a little bit how hacking works, but it's mostly still the same.
All right, I make it.
Okay, and the system is technically monitored by the receptionist, but so I'm going to have. Hold on, I'm scrolling to the actual like rules to make sure I'm not fucking it up. Where is mesh using mesh hacking? Okay, so you're carefully probing. Supposed to attacker AI. Okay, so I'm gonna give her a penalty to her skill because she's distracted. She already wasn't very good. It's sort of her muse that's doing this, so it's at like a 20. Okay, so yeah, it fails. So you have shut down their systems. Okay, so yeah, you have subverted the system to your will, and you were just trying to do what with the cameras? Just so I know, like loop the video or shut them down or what?
Loop video, I feel like that would.
All right, go ahead and
be too.
Yeah, go ahead and give me an interfacing check, just because you're trying to interface with all the cameras. Okay, does that succeed?
Make that. Yes.
All right. Well, the passive AI is going to try and notice. Wow. Okay. Well, it continues not to notice what you're doing. So you have subverted the system, and the cameras are now looping. So there won't be any recorded evidence. Let's go to Dagfinn. The receptionist's eyes have glazed over, and she's like the perfect target for whatever you're planning. So,
same, like even from the outside, just slip right into a vent because specifically with the octomorph body, I believe I get a bonus for infiltrating into tight spaces.
Yeah, you have Limber level 2, I think, to represent you not having any bones in your body. So I think it's a plus 20 to acrobatic movements. So this is definitely acrobatic.
Oh, sorry, plus 20 to escape small spaces, as I believe the book puts it.
Yeah, well, we can leave the plus 20 for this as well, just because you are in a tight space.
Move through small spaces, I think would be...
Yeah, go ahead and give me an infiltration check.
To go slinking through the vents. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's well under.
Yeah, and with a superior success, I think you get a key card also for yourself. So you've got 2 key cards, and one of the receptionist's key card will definitely get you into the back, but you also manage to palm another key card that will get you into sort of the locker room. of the re-sleeving technicians. So there are technicians that like do the
Oops.
Whoa.
Sorry.
That there are technicians that do the actual re-sleeving. So the receptionist doesn't need to go to that area. She mostly just escorts people in and out. So that's why her key card can get her in the back. But the re-sleeving technicians have a little bit more access. So you get like a key card that gives you more access. And if you want to, say, rob the locker room, that is a thing you can now do.
Yeah, let's think over there.
All right,
and
so
do some rifling through, see what I can get my. I was going to say hands, but that's not it. On
your tentacles. Okay,
tentacles on.
So I guess you flip Billy the receptionist key card, so he can go back and do his little look-see while you rifle around. So we will get to you rifling around in a second, Dagfinn. So Billy, how are you infiltrating, just so that like I can set up a mental picture for myself?
Billy's probably. Well, the receptionist keycard will probably get us in like some kind of back entrance.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where Billy's going to be heading in. He's going to activate his chameleon skin and
go in the back.
sort of get in the back entrance
All right,
and turn his way towards the morgue.
Okay, go ahead and give me a infiltration check.
He's going to be, walking, so
Yeah.
it's the plus 20.
Yep.
Not really in any particular hurry.
Oh, yeah. Oh, critical success.
Okay.
Wow. And there's some technicians that you noticed, so I'm just going to roll to see if they like notice you, but yeah, they don't notice you. So yeah, you are able to slip in. You hear a couple of them talking about going to lunch. So you just kind of wait until they're gone and you easily slip in to the back. So, the morgue, as it's called, is actually a re-sleeving facility. So there's most of the bodies are being kept sort of in like tanks. And there's a couple that haven't been retanked, so they are like in a cold storage locker type deal. And that's where you find Marzuq's body. So go ahead and give me a what's your medicine skills? You have forensics though, right?
Medicine. I have paramedic, biotech, and forensics.
All right, yeah. Go ahead and give me a forensics one then. Oh wow. Okay.
Okay. Wait, is that good or bad?
That's really good. That's the best possible critical success you could get.
Okay.
So that's why I said wow, because we already had one of these.
Yeah, a 100.
Yeah. So you.
I instantly know who did it.
Yeah, I guess. Thank you, Franklin.
I was just curious.
Yeah. So yeah, first thing you notice, like immediately you're patting him down. You confirm the suspicion that you had by looking at the medical reports that for sure the blunt force trauma to the front of the head came after he had died. The blow to the back of his neck happened first. And then you see that like you're trying to figure out how he actually died, because like the blow to the back of his neck like cracked the stack in such a way that like it like broke basically, and he would have been paralyzed by the hit. So he would have still been alive, but paralyzed from like the neck down. And yeah, so the way he would have died would have been like asphyxiation or whatever, because he couldn't properly breathe, and then that would for sure like alert someone. That's too hard to cover up. So you start looking around and you notice the needle mark sort of right under his armpit, and you quickly draw a sample of blood, because obviously you can't like do that shit now. You're sort of on a time limit, but you'll probably have to like call in some favors to check it out. But you draw a sample of blood. You're pretty sure he was like poisoned or something, and then he was beaten in front of the head to make it look like a gang robbery gone wrong. Then
it makes sense that Billy would know all the best needle mark hiding spots.
Yeah. You then also check where his like sort of like as you're doing your scoping out, you naturally go to where his stack would be, and you see a very clean and neat hole where the stack was. Someone has purposely taken the stack out, which is weird because if it was malfunctioning or whatever, then they wouldn't have to do that. But someone clearly with a 100, you're pretty sure, like, the stack would be broken from the hit. But whoever's did this very much didn't want any chance of anyone getting their hands on the stack, even if it was broken. So, you learn all that with your 100, and you also get that blood sample that you're going to need somewhere to, you're going to have to go somewhere else to analyze it. Out front, actually no, let's hold up for a second. Dagfinn, you're rifling through pockets.
Lockers.
Yeah, lockers and stuff. You go to a locker of, let me just grab a random name. It says,
Colbert Tolbert.
Yes, Colbert Tolbert, no. It says, the name on the locker is I, and then, period, and then says Olander. So whoever this is, their last name's Olander, and their first name starts with an I. And you open it, and, out, falls a little ecto, which is like a, mesh insert, but outside of the body. And it's a pretty high-end model. You can sort of tell just by glancing at it with your, cause you're trained in, security operations. This one's probably pretty heavily encrypted, which is weird for a resleeving doctor to have such a thing.
I'll definitely pick him help about that.
Yeah, so, okay. Yeah, and you also steal some money. Not that is important, but you get some money if you feel like it. And, the one doctor was stealing drugs,
And I put on 4 pairs of guard pants.
Yeah, you're just having a grand old time. Out front, Jack, a young guy sort of ambles in to the front reception area. And he's got tattoos all over his body. And his hair is dyed bright green. And
millennials.
What the fuck? Sorry. So yeah, he walks in, and he's not dressed like the upscale clientele you'd expect from this resleeving facility. Do you have do you know anything about gangs or anything, Jack?
No.
Alright, so then the tattoos mean nothing to you.
Unless it's an uplift culture gang, in which case perhaps.
Very not.
It's a gang
I would assume not.
Very not. So he
I guess unless it's a gang that's on Titan as well. I've got knowledge of Titan.
Yeah, it's not a Titanian gang either. Actually, go ahead and roll that for me real quick. Cause there's a...
That's... Nope.
Yeah, no. You don't recognize the tattoos or anything. So, he sort of, the receptionist sees him and, says, excuse me, sir, I've a new customer. I need to, speak to them. Just one moment. Your story is very fascinating and I would love to know how it ends. And she turns towards him and says, hello, welcome to MaxSec Resleeving. How may I help you today? And, he sort of leans over the counter, and smiles at her and he says, you might want to head in the back. I'm here from, hold on, let me get the name. Yes, Mistress Ma sent me. And then he kind of winks at her and she goes, oh, I see.
Sorry, Mistress Ma?
Yeah.
Okay, just check.
There. So she goes, I see. And she says, she turns to you, Jack, and she's about to say something. And then the guy cuts her off and says, no, he can stay. And so she, reaches for her, key card. And then she, goes, she starts looking on her desk. So at this point, with the TACnet, you all sort of know something's going on up front. And she says, well, I've seemed to have misplaced my key card to go in the back. And she's very flustered. And the kid grins at her, and he peels off like a roll of credits, and he hands her some. He says, why don't you go on your lunch break? It's on me. And she very quickly hurries out. And Jack, if you can give me a kinesics check as she heads out.
Do I have... Okay, so I don't have that as a skill, so what is that?
Savvy.
Okay, it's just my default savvy of 60?
Yep.
Oh no, of 20. No,
of 20. Kinesics is to tell if someone's lying to you skill, and I feel it's very good that Jack is good at lying and everything, but he can't tell when people are...
He doesn't... He mostly tries to do as much of the talking as possible.
Tries to dominate the conversation. Got it. Good strategy. Good strategy. Okay, so yeah, she hurries out, and she spares you a glance over her shoulder. And she
And I think to myself as she walks out, wow, the management just pays them to go on lunch break?
She very firmly closes the door behind her. And, the guy kind of leans down to look you in the face, as it were, and he says, hey, buddy.
Hi. You must be the manager.
You could say that. And he kind of looks around and he says, my boss said you'd be with some friends. Where are your friends at? And then he very casually takes a pistol out of his jacket pocket and very firmly places it on your head and says, please don't lie to me. When people lie to me, my finger twitches and, I don't think that'd be so good for you now.
Okay, so I have a quick question. Maybe I have two questions. Shit, I didn't look up how much damage a flex blade does.
Okay, well, I can look that up.
I guess that's my first question.
Yeah, give me a second.
Whether that is more or less damaging than my claw attack.
Hold on.
Really should have done that, sorry.
No, it's fine. Flex blade, you said?
Yeah. Like a retractable machete, basically.
Okay.
Which I guess maybe I don't even have on. Would it be weird to have a flex blade on me? Hidden?
No.
Or not hidden?
Your claws actually have a listed damage.
Yeah, my claws do,
okay, hold on. Yes, so flex blade.
2d10.
Is flex blade all one word or two separate words?
I think it's all one word.
Why is this not in the... Where's it listed?
Did I import it from the previous version?
No.
I may have...
It might not actually be a flex blade.
Flex cutter? Yeah,
Perhaps.
Okay. So it does
Sorry.
It's the flex cutter. So it does 1d10 plus 3 damage, and it's concealable.
Okay. So that's actually less than my claws, which do 2d10.
Yeah. So he also says, I wouldn't make any sudden movement, friend. Might get nervous, So your friends, where are they? So at this point, y'all are in the tack net, so you know what's going on. So Brightwing, you're probably outside the building hacking. Billy, you're in the back, and Dagfinn, you are...
I send a quick message over the tack net, like, hey, if you all aren't too busy, I have a bit of a situation up here. And then...
Can I... If I know what's going on, can I roll, my knowledge of the, knowledge of criminals to find out who Mistress Ma is?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Let me see. Oops.
Right. You can
fail.
Also spend something flips something. I think it might be Moxie still. No, Flex. I think
there's
Flex.
4 different pools, and it depends on which.
Yeah.
They all work like Moxie, but
for specific things. Yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
No.
Moxie is social interaction. Insight is mental. Vigor is physical.
Hold on, I'm reading real quick.
Oh, there's 3 pools, and then there's Flex, which is like a special pool that can be used anywhere.
Yeah.
Which is like what Moxie used to be.
Yeah, you can
They're all
use...
like Moxie, but Flex is a special.
Okay, so you could use Insight,
what our ego
I
is.
believe. You could use Insight to flip-flop that if you wanted. Because you're using a mental skill, and Insight is the pool for mental stuff. So if you want, and if you have Insight, you can flip-flop that. Just so that we're clear on like what each does. Moxie flip-flops for social interactions, Vigor for like strong things, and then Flex, I don't think flip-flops for anything. Or it might flip-flop for everything. I've got to... Yeah, Flex can be used on any test. So if you want to use Flex as well.
Okay, yeah, I'll use a Flex point to flip it.
Okay. So that succeeds. Yeah, so Mistress Ma, so you narrow it down to stuff on Martin, wow. Mars, you narrow it down to Martian gangs. So mad at myself.
My favorite anime, but
Jesus Christ. So yeah, you narrow it down to Martian gangs, and then you have to narrow it down even more, to like local, Olympus gangs, and then you finally get a hit on, Lin A Ma, the gang boss of the Gaping Maw gang, which is like a small-time Olympus street gang. So I will post those in the chat. So yeah, you positively identify them, and then like retroactively, well not retroactively, but you also recognize the person that's threatening Jack as a member of the Gaping Maw gang by his tattoos. So yeah, you've identified them, Brightwing. Is there anything else you'd like to?
It doesn't seem that there's anything else that's required right now, so...
Well, a man's pointing a gun at my head, but I mean, if that's not important to you, I can understand.
Well, we'll get you a new body, don't worry.
not really.
We're in a re-sleeving facility.
It's true.
So, yeah,
a bunch of bodies in the back for you.
What is Billy doing?
Billy is going to...
We're on a mission. His name is the Gag.
Right.
I'm not saying the Gex.
Call me Gex.
Not saying that, and you can fucking go to hell. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Can I use actually, can I see if there's, anything, in the morgue that, could help me?
Yeah, what are you looking for? Well, here's the thing. You can spend a flex point. So, I'm gonna make sure I'm saying this correctly. But you can spend a flex point to introduce an item to a scene. Its presence must be plausible. The item cannot be offensive, so no weapons, and it must be minor, not rare or restricted complexity.
Yeah, flex is basically like preparation from...
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I guess
I'm just... Yeah. So, what are you looking for, and we can decide.
Spend flex to have a flock of doves dramatically fly through an action scene.
Doves to activate bullet time.
Yeah, so what would you like to do?
That's the problem, is that I'm trying to think of what could help me to defuse the situation. Because I already have a gun.
Just a fucking gun. If you want, we can head over to Heave's character if you need a second to think.
Yeah, go ahead and do Heave.
Alright, so Dagfinn, what are you doing?
I mean, at this point I've thoroughly searched through.
Yeah, you've thoroughly searched through. If you're going to use Flex to introduce something, now's the time.
I mean, I suppose at this point I should go help out my temporary teammate.
Yes, maybe.
To be clear, this is just gangster type, not
Yeah, this is like a gangster type. He seems to be by himself.
Okay, since I established in totally actual intention and not making a joke that Dagfinn has put on a guard's uniform.
Oh, I fucking love where this is going.
Goes out to the lobby and politely yet firmly ask him to put his weapon down.
Okay, so you head out there. He looks up and he sees you and he goes, "They fucking got octopus guards here now? I don't believe that shit." He doesn't seem concerned, and then you tell him very firmly to put his weapon down.
Excusez-moi.
Oh my
Monsieur?
God.
Oh,
It talks?
God.
Yeah? What?
If you will please put down your weapon. I am afraid this is a weapon-free facility.
He laughs and he says, "You gotta be fucking kidding me."
I am afraid not.
He goes, "You must be new or something because this whole facility belongs to Mistress Ma."
Well,
So he's looking away right now, right?
Yeah, he's pretty distracted.
Okay, I'm going to. My claws were already held upward because I don't have hands.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to very quickly scuttle sideways while grabbing his arm in an attempt to disarm him in a move I actually know it. Why?
boop, 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 boop.
I'm assuming that's just a melee attack, or
Yeah, that's melee. That's straight up melee.
like basically I'm grabbing his arm with one hand and I'm grabbing his hand with the other, and I'm trying to just sort of smack the gun both away from me and out of his hand.
Yeah,
So I
totally.
often think his Zoidberg noises.
Okay.
Are you kidding me? That's so bad. Okay,
If
wait,
you have
what-
vigor, you can.
I do. I have 3 vigor. So what is that?
Wow.
It doesn't say I can flip though. Take an
You
extra
can.
quick or
Well,
physical
okay.
action.
So it also says using pools. After roll, you can flip flop. Or
Oh.
yeah, so you can
Oh,
flip
it's up there
flop.
too.
Yeah. So flex can be used for any of them, but if you don't have flex, then vigor can only flip flop. Physical actions, intellect can only flop.
Okay.
Thinking actions, and then
Oh.
moxie is whatever actions. So I don't think you can reroll.
I cannot.
Yeah. So I don't know if flip flopping would work. Also, before the roll, you can add 20 to the test number. And I'm going to say retroactively, if you want to do that, you could do that now, but I don't think that's going to help.
I don't know if him being distracted helps.
Well, here, let's try this. Go ahead and give me a provoke roll, Heave.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna save this for a
I
second.
have a 75, so
Whoa,
if he
holy
can
moly.
in melee. So if he
Yeah.
can,
Does that
Yeah, that's,
provoke?
well,
you know what? I am going to, spend an insight?
Moxie. Yeah, Moxie.
Sorry.
Okay.
I will go ahead and spend a Moxie to, do that better.
Okay. To make it an 18. Okay. So, his eyes are, like, fully on you, and I will say that, that gives you a plus 10. Cause he's distracted, but, I mean, he's still, like, aware of you. So that would probably bump you up to an 85. So I will say if retroactively you want to give yourself that plus 20 by spending a point. Because you didn't know you could do that, but now everyone knows.
I would have, if I'd realized that I,
Yeah.
Okay. I would have done
so
that. I realized this.
he's gonna try to fray. That's not gonna succeed. So yeah, he doesn't get out of the way. Like, he senses you're gonna do it, and he tries to juke out of the way, but then you got him. And, you're trying to smack the gun out of his hand?
I've got one claw on his arm, and that probably hurts.
Yeah.
And then, the other one is sort of at his hand, and I'm controlling and potentially smacking the gun out of his hand.
Okay, so yeah, you smack the gun out of his hand, and it goes skittering across the floor, and, he starts cursing at you in, Japanese. Your muse identifies it as Japanese. And it goes skittering across the floor, and like lands, sort of slides to the door, and then just stops when it hits the door. And he says, he switches back to, whatever he was speaking, it doesn't fucking matter. And he says, you're not going to get away with this. The gaping maw is strong. So he's just spouting bullshit at you. So,
Jack Caiman gets away with whatever he pleases.
I fucking love your character.
Jeez.
So at this point, Billy, would you like to come in? The situation has been sort of resolved.
Yeah, Billy comes in holding a miraculous item that would have helped, but it's already been resolved, so he just tossed it in the trash.
He had the god particle, and he was going to use it to fucking kill everyone. Anyways, yeah, so you toss your item aside, and I guess maybe at this point Brightwing might want to come in too, since he's still jamming the cameras, so...
Yeah, come on in. I'll just mosey on in.
What do you guys want to do with this?
Something going on here, folks?
Fuck you, Brightwing.
I think we're fixing for a rumble.
Now, what's going on here?
So yeah, what do you want to do?
Would shooting him help at this point?
No, I'd like to talk to him first.
Okay.
I mean, does anyone have psychosurgery? Because you can for sure...
Well, that's not a skill anymore.
Yeah, it's medicine psychosurgery.
Oh, it is medicine.
There's a specialization of medicine.
Yeah. I could try to do that with veterinary medicine and just kind of fuck him up.
You can also, don't forget that, like, your brain's digital, so you can kill his body and then just take his stack and interrogate him in digital space.
I think right away I'm just gonna ask, like, who is Ma and or who is... I guess I know about the gang, right?
Yeah, because I assume Brightwing would fill you in, because Brightwing...
What interest does the Gaping Maw gang have with this place?
I just do what the boss tells me to do, and then he spits at you.
I'd be wary. I'm feeling pretty crabby today, and I put my claw up to his throat.
He stares you down silently, trying not to laugh at your very good joke.
It's a very good joke.
So,
I said that in character.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I hope you said that. It's a very good joke. Listen, have you seen my book, 101 Animal Puns? It's what got me my doctorate. So yeah, he's pretty defiant. I just go where they tell me to go is basically his answer. And if he knows more, he's not telling you.
Could we look at what he's got, like, on him?
Well, he had a gun, and then that was it.
Nothing else but a gun?
Nothing else but a gun.
Take?
What? Did he have a wallet?
Not even a wallet we could take?
Well, yeah, he has a wallet with his identification.
His cyber wallet?
Yeah. For sure. So yeah, he's, staring you down.
So,
hey, real quick, just before we go anywhere, Dagfinn, go ahead and give me a sec ops or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's probably wise.
Oh, I can roll for that too.
Do you have security ops?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Alright, if you succeeded, then you know that, like, he knew, from what he said to Jack, he knew about all of you guys, and you can't just take one guy, you can't take 1, 2, 3, 4 people with one guy and him just having a gun. Also, they'd need a car, so he's probably got friends, and he probably doesn't have a fancy TACnet like you, but they're probably going to be concerned when, he doesn't show up.
Mon ami, it's time to, up.
I crushed his neck.
Okay, he fucking dies.
Nice.
Cool. Everyone that just witnessed that, unless you're hardened to violence, go ahead and give me a sanity check. That's will times 3.
Am I hardened to violence?
No! Unless you took the trait that gives you a hardening.
I didn't. I probably should have.
Yes, for good checks.
Yeah,
what do I roll?
Fun.
It's will times 3, so it is your will score.
Brother.
Yeah, the enforcer somehow is not good with violence. Way!
Alright, so who succeeded and who failed?
Critical fail.
Awesome. So, he failed. Who else failed?
I failed.
Okay.
What did I do?
Failed. And was Billy the only one to succeed? Hey, Billy, I don't know if you can do this on your sheet, and I don't know if it says violence on there, but, what are the 3 categories it's got? Can you guys tell me?
Alienation,
helplessness, the unknown.
Okay, so I believe alienation got rolled up into, helplessness, so, we're gonna pretend helplessness on the sheet is actually violence. So, Billy, good news. You get to mark 1 hardened. As soon as that whole track gets filled up, you won't have to worry about violence anymore. Scaring you.
Cool.
Everyone
Screwed up.
you're slowly becoming a psychopath. So,
Hey, look, I'm a doctor.
Sure. So let me, open up the, actual how much stress you get. Because I want to kind of go by the rules here.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Stress. Stress points, stress value. Trauma. Aha, here we go. So, violence. Extreme violence viewing. So, this one is for everyone that's not Jack, that failed. Divide this by 2, so you take 3 stress each. And then Jack, I'm gonna roll for you because you committed the violence, you fool.
I did commit the violence.
You did a bad thing, Jack.
Well, he pointed a gun at me.
You take 9 stress.
Wow.
So what is your, trauma threshold, TT on the sheet?
I don't even know. Where is that? My trauma threshold is 5.
Okay, so you, holy shit, dude. You are temporarily freaking out. You didn't know there'd be so much blood.
Well, I didn't chop his head off. I crushed his windpipe. I would say there's not so much blood as a lot of choking and dying.
Yeah, you didn't know it would take him that long to die. It's taking a lot longer than you thought. You thought it would be pretty quick. It isn't. So, I believe...
I run over to Jack and go, open your mouth.
I mean, okay, I have no idea how a crab mouth works, but I'm going to assume that that's possible, and I do it.
Okay, are you shoving...
Specifically noted that it is gross when Nova crabs eat, so whatever is about to happen is gross.
I squirt a tube of comfort into whatever opens.
Okay, yeah, you pop a Go-Gurt and put it in his mouth. So you can ignore the -10 from 1 trauma. You have, though, let's see, what derangement am I gonna give you? And then I'm gonna roll for how many hours. It's gonna, very good, I'm very happy we got this.
But I still have the 9 stress, right?
Yeah, you still have it.
Okay.
Oh boy, you are 1 away from getting 2 traumas, my dude. Don't do anything stressful.
Don't crush any more windpipes with your giant crab claws.
Yeah, don't do that. Okay, you are having a panic attack. So, it is going to last for 7 hours, my dude.
Wow.
Thankfully, I believe the comfort lasts 8, so you're pretty okay. You've got it under control, Jack, but every time you think about what you just did to this man, like a shiver runs through you. So you're intentionally, the way the comfort's working is like blunting your recent sort of trauma, but you know you're going to have to confront that at some point, what you did to this man. Oh my god, why did it take him so long to die?
All you can think about is just how it felt like dry spaghetti in your hand.
Oh, gross. Whoa, Dijon, whoa!
Dijon, do you have something you want to tell us?
Jesus, I didn't expect to find out Dijon killed a man.
I know, right?
My crab claws.
with his real life crab claws. Okay. So you suddenly, well, not suddenly, it takes about 2 minutes for this man to die. By choking. You're not very good. You're trying not to cut his head off for some reason with your claws, so it's not great. But you have a dead body now. What do you do with the dead body?
I mean, I was gonna take the stack, but I feel like probably someone else would get around to taking the stack first.
Yeah, who wants to cut that stack out though, huh?
Well, how does taking out a stack work exactly?
Okay, so there's a couple ways. You can get a knife and dig it out of the spinal cord, or some people, like professionals who are fucking psychopaths, pop it out like it was a pea in a pod, which involves breaking the neck, but it pops out real good and clean. So, you can take your pick.
I mean, the neck's already broken, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Do you want to try and pop it out, though? Like a zit? And then it's gonna bleed and get all over your face?
I have like hang on. I have like medical tools.
You're gonna try and medically... Yeah, go ahead and give me... I guess the closest would be medicine biotech. Let's see how much of a mess you make.
It says applies to medicine biotech.
Cool. Okay, yeah. With 100, you get it out pretty quickly, with minimum fuss, and
do it with my eyes closed.
You are able to disassociate enough that it's not going to be another stress test for you.
I literally did it with my eyes closed.
So you treat it like a normal medical procedure, and you try not to think about the fact that the crab that you're standing next to, who is hyperventilating because the drugs still haven't quite kicked in, is the one that killed him.
Gilgert just leaking out of his mouth.
Oh god, it's so gross. So you've popped the stack, and you have it now, and what do you do now?
So we still got a lady here, right?
No, she left. But she's going to come back to this dead body.
Oh, that'll be fun for her.
It'll be fun for her. Jesus. Sorry, continue.
I wonder if the morgue has some way to get rid of dead bodies.
Now, Monami, you do know there are more of his friends outside.
Oh boy.
Yeah, they're gonna know. That's not in character. I'm not talking but they're gonna know.
Yeah.
That a man died.
Also, am I to assume that my character would really only have weapons that would be concealable? Or are we playing a bit fast and loose with that?
We're playing a bit fast and loose. You could probably conceal like a pistol. If it's a fucking assault rifle, then no.
I'm saying like an axe.
Yeah, an axe you could probably conceal.
Okay.
I'm assuming they're more like throwing axes, sort of small, unless you specifically want to go bigger.
I don't know. It's made out of diamonds.
Oh, a diamond axe? It's probably small enough for throwing. So yeah, it's small enough for hiding.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, so what do you guys do?
Okay, so we should probably just maybe just leave this body and try to get out of here then. Like, not even bother trying to dispose of it.
Yeah, you might want to run.
I mean, I don't care
It might be a good idea.
But Morg probably knows what bodies it has. Or
Yeah.
should have.
Hey, does anybody remember this body with the crushed windpipe?
Whatever.
And the blood trail?
Maybe it's a non-standard morgue with like an incinerator.
Yeah, no, it's not that.
Most of it is valuable.
We're done. We're done checking on this body. Do they want it back? No. All right.
Is it a library?
You guys are idiots.
I mean, not far off for a lot of morphs on Mars.
Anyways, I'm gonna say we go.
Yeah, can we go? Hey guys, can we leave?
Yeah.
Can we
Go.
If we left.
Okay.
All right, so we're leaving out. Okay, can we see if there's anyone out front?
That's a great. Yeah, that would be perceive. Who wants to?
Dagfinn's going to be perceiving the shit out of this because Dagfinn knows. Dagfinn rolled that Sec Ops.
Yeah.
Nope. I do not perceive shit.
Okay, Dagfinn.
Perception.
You notice there's no one directly waiting outside, but you do see a car, a hover car or a flight car, whatever the fuck they have on Mars, is sort of idling a little bit of ways, and you are with a superior success. You also catch a glimpse of the driver of the car, and he has similar tattoos to the dude that just got killed in front of you.
So I'm going to ping that car through TACnet.
Okay.
Assuming that's I can ping people's
Yeah,
because that's the future.
yeah. So they will probably, where they're positioned, they can probably see you exit out of the resleeving facility.
Act natural. Keep walking.
Well, you can also go out the back. That's been established that there is a back.
Yes. This was going to be my next suggestion.
So if you want to go out the front, you can. They probably don't. The only one they probably know who they look like is Frank's character, and also your character, Heave, because you two sort of stand out on Mars a little bit. So, like, I'll give you that one for free.
Yeah, so where we want to go is a party decision, but poking his head out, Dagfinn does notice.
Yeah, you for sure notice. So yeah, would you like to go out the back, or do you want to go out the front? That's a party decision, though, and I think that's where we'll wrap up.
I vote back, even if there's,
Oh boy.
even if there's dudes back there, there's less, less open.
You're going to get into a rumble either way.
Not if you're good at your job and you figure out how to get out. These guys, okay, I will be straight up with you. These guys don't seem like the best, people.
In retrospect, I should have just smacked him. Oh well.
In retrospect, there's a lot of things you should have done, but in the heat of the moment, you choked a man out using your crab claw. And
choke's probably not the right word, but
sure.
Suffocated, I guess?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Crushed his windpipe with your large crab claw, resulting in a lot of, a panic attack almost.
For murder? That would be the term, I believe.
Yeah, you did a murder. You did a murder? Okay, so you're going out the back? If you head out the back, there's no one covering the back. This seems like real amateur hour, if we're being honest.
I'm kind of disappointed now.
So yeah, you can swiftly walk away, and I think it's almost 10 o'clock. Okay, before we stop for the night, you guys also need to figure out, how are you going to interrogate this guy in virtual? Because that's what I assume you're doing with the stack. So
Yeah.
Let's establish that real quick now. None of you have the gear to interrogate in a stack unless you took the Mind Hacker career, and then I believe it comes with some gear that could be used for that. If you didn't, then it's gonna be a reputation test to call in a favor.
Okay.
So it's a moderate favor. So those are on the character sheet. So who's calling in the favor? Because it's gonna be a reputation roll. And what?
Also, wouldn't that just be a resource?
Yeah, it could be a resource if you want to go out and bribe someone for it. It would still be a rep check to see if you could find them, but if you want to use your resources on it, yeah, you totally could.
So that might be the easier way.
Yeah.
Because Dagfinn here has significant resources.
Oh. How much resources did you take, Heave? Just out of curiosity.
Restricted.
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude.
So resources, yes.
Yeah,
Wait,
okay.
Restricted?
So I believe that's level 4, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
I have level
all
3.
of resources.
Yeah, so didn't realize we had a high roller here, folks. Okay, so then I guess Dagfinn, would you like to call in a favor? Well, roll reputation to see if you can find someone for you.
Yeah, and
right.
since the resources come from the fact that he is high up in the La Familia Nakamura. He is rolling G-Rep.
Sounds perfectly good.
Is it just roll against your rep? Or?
Yeah, it's you treat it like a skill, basically. Except there's no like superior or whatever.
I didn't know how this was.
Yep.
This solution.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You find it. And you're using your resources. So.
That's just I can call in a favor.
Yeah, basically. So you can get a pretty good favor too, my dude. So yeah, you call in a favor, and you're basically asking for.
At this point, since we can call in a real big one.
Yeah.
Why not, like, could a resource be the services of a ringer? Is it a ringer for this job?
Yeah.
A real good mind hacker?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You're calling in for a real good mind hacker, and you use criminal reputation, so he's going to be a crime dude. So you get a pretty good suggestion, and I will roll up a name for next week. So I guess that's where we're picking, not next week, but the next time we play.
Whenever.
Yeah. So I'll roll up a name for that, and he's probably connected with your syndicate. So okay. So.
Their tentacles are far-reaching.
So I'm gonna reward some res here, and I believe res works like CP.
There's a section for it somewhere.
Yeah, there is.
I vaguely remember that.
I'll look it up.
RP earned.
Yeah, res points. So everyone gets 3 res because you've started getting on some shit here.
It can be spent just like CP?
I'm pretty sure it's spent like CP, though it might be a little bit different for rep and skills. Just because I don't think they want you to go up by 5 every time you spend a res. Because that would make you insane.
Somewhere on the books, I don't know.
I'll look for it.
They're all fragmented right now.
Yeah, so I probably want to make good. Okay, yeah, we're done. So I'm just going to stop this thing.